By design, a video game boss is supposed to be super powerful, to the extent that they can put all of your skills to the test like very few other enemies in their games can. Of course, some are better than others, and some, in fact, are so good that they can kill you right away with a single hit. Here we're going to talk about a few such bosses who are capable of doing just that, and what attacks they make use of to accomplish that. MIDIR, Dark Souls 3. Dark Eater MIDIR ranks as one of the best, most terrifying, and most challenging bosses in a series that's got no shortage of those. The monstrous dragon has a number of attacks that are capable of doing ridiculous amounts of damage, if you're not extra careful, and constantly keeping a good eye on what it's about to unleash, but get caught in one of its dark beam blasts and it's game over in the blink of an eye. Sure, as often tends to be the case in the Souls games, this isn't a one-hit kill attack, if you've got the right build. But for the vast majority of players out there, that isn't the case. Thankfully for those who want nothing to do with MIDIR and his deadly attacks, he's only an optional boss, and not even in the base game. BANSHEES, Mass Effect 3.
Later.
Mass Effect 3 sees the Reapers unleashing all their might throughout the galaxy, systematically trying to wipe out all sentient life forms, who, much to Commander Shepard's annoyance, had been foolishly denying the Reapers' existence for quite some time. Given their terrifying reputation and their ultimate goals, it's not surprising that they have some deadly weapons at their disposal. Husks, for instance, are mutated, transformed versions of other species that have been enslaved to the Reaper's will, and no husks are as capable of killing you dead as the Asari husks, better known as Banshees. Even from a distance, they're more than capable of giving you more than your fair share of trouble. And if they get up close, they can grab hold of you and impale you with their weird claw hands and kill you in a heartbeat. JACKAL snipers, Halo 2. Anyone who's played Halo 2 on its highest difficulties, especially Legendary, will know exactly how much of a pain the JACKAL snipers in the game are. Snipers in any game are something of a nuisance, sure, but Halo 2's JACKAL snipers are on another level. They've got ridiculously good aim, which means they don't miss often, and a single hit from one of them is enough to kill you outright, if not weaken you within an inch of death. One of them is hard enough to deal with, but if you come across a group, well, then you're going to need all the patience and luck in the world to be able to get past them. BLOATERS, The Last of Us. The Last of Us turns into an entirely different experience if you play it on its higher difficulties, offering a significantly more challenging and tense survival horror experience than what you may remember from its default, normal difficulty. Regardless of which difficulty you play it on, though, bloaters are an absolute nightmare. Their spores and spore bombs and hefty swings can do devastating damage. But even those are nothing compared to what these monsters can do if they manage to grab onto you. Like clickers, bloaters will kill you in a single hit if they get too close. But they'll do is in even more devastating fashion and will literally rip you in half. SCARECROW, Batman Arkham Asylum. The Caped Crusader takes on many iconic foes during his nightmarish excursion through Arkham Asylum in Rocksteady's 2009 masterpiece. From Killer Croc to Bane and Poison Ivy and the Joker, Scarecrow is another enemy that Batman crosses paths with. But while he ends up shoving his fists into other foes' faces, Scarecrow puts up a much more cerebral challenge. The Scarecrow encounters aren't boss fights as much as they are instant-fail stealth sequences, though they're a rare example of good insta-fail stealth sequences. But of course, if you get caught in one of his lights, it's lights out for you in an instant. The Phantom, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts fans can make a never-ending list of excellent, memorable boss fights. That's one area where the series has consistently been great, for all of its mind-bending, overwrought narrative shenanigans. Of course, as time has gone on, the series has generally gotten better with its boss fights, but even so, there are some fights from its very first outing that stand the test of time. The Phantom, for instance, remains one of Kingdom Hearts' trickier boss battles to this day. and most of that comes down to a single attack. The moment the Phantom casts Doom on one of your party members, it's a literal countdown to instant death. And once that instant death comes, there's no reviving that character either. Defeating the Phantom with haste becomes doubly important for that very reason. ARTICUNO, Pokemon. Pokemon as a series has often introduced attacks that are guaranteed one-hit kills, but appropriately enough, these attacks aren't easy to land and generally come with very low accuracy. One such attack is Sheer Cold, and ARTICUNO is the only Pokemon that can make Sheer Cold even deadlier than it is. Doing that takes 2 moves, so technically it's not a one-hit kill anymore, but it's well worth the cost. Mind Reader makes it so that the Pokemon's next attack is guaranteed to hit no matter what, and if ARTICUNO uses that and Sheer Cold one after the other, that's as deadly as any attack can possibly be. BEELZEBUB, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. Shin Megami Tensei games are and always have been notoriously challenging, which means you'll often come across enemies and attacks that bring you within an inch of death, if not kill you instantly. As such, we had an embarrassment of riches, but the attack we've gone with here is BEELZEBUB's Deathflies. Essentially, any party member that isn't resistant to or strong against curse-type attacks will be guaranteed to instantly die once this attack hits. It's a nightmare to deal with, especially if you don't have a party that gives you curse resistance. XENOMORPH, Alien Isolation. Of all the stalker enemies that have made our lives a living hell in video games over the years, very few have managed to make a mark the way Alien Isolation's XENOMORPH did. Among the many, many reasons that make this creature as scary as it is the fact that if it does spot you, more often than not, it'll catch you, and if it catches you, there's no way in hell you're making it out alive. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on GamingBolt.